Hey, everybody, welcome back to Easy to Spell, where the name's easy to spell, and we messed it up anyway. Glad you're able to find us. Welcome back. Uh, Really quick, couple shout outs I want to make. Again, Syrinscape, because Epic Games need epic sound. Huge support to the show having that ambient noise. It is a lifesaver for me so that I don't have to buy time while I look something up in silence. It's been fantastic. So thank you so much, Syrinscape. Uh, we also have merch, so shout out specifically to our own Rachel playing Vala, who set all that up, designed all of our merch, and has that out. T-shirts, hoodies, the stickers, which are super cool.
My
Um,
favorite part.
yeah, they're the best part. They're super cheap and awesome. Mine haven't shown up yet, but I will show them up off soon. Um, Hopefully by our stream next week. Uh, since you're here, if you like what we're doing, like, follow, subscribe, comment. We are also putting these on YouTube, so we've got multiple avenues. Once we reach an accumulated 100 followers uh, between all the platforms that we're on, I get a script, so I'll know what I'm saying going into all this. It's going to really tighten things up, and let's jump into the action really quick and stop these guys from losing their minds from my 10-minute ranting that I do. But we left off on kind of a big note, so my goal is to jump right into this. Our party has been for the last few in-game and real-life months combating against this presence, this Fey force that has actively been working against the settlers on this new continent of Aratas. In our last session, uh, after you all had negotiated peace with the father, the leader of these Fey forces, he said there was sent you against his last remaining champion, a commander that operated independent from him. You gathered an elite team, including yourselves, Ladrili, the governess of a neighboring allied settlement, um, a Fey Redcap assassin, whose name would anybody still have the name? It was
Rutherford?
Rutherford, uh, and um, and Braden, your town guard, just a dude.
Just the guy, the man, the myth, the legend.
Kalion the Smith is who joined you as well. You were all teleported to Aldenstead, the city under siege by the Dow and his forces. You kind of split off, Rutherford and Kalion going to deliver weapons and arms to the soldiers resisting the elemental onslaught, while you went straight to locate the Dow himself, the elemental commander of these forces, descending deep into the earth, striking hard and fast. Raven, our party's ranger assassin, kicking off combat, Vala summoning a ton of berserkers. You clashed against him and his guards, which resulted in Orelton wielding the Fey Breaker greatsword. As you strike down the Dow, your allies and all of your barbarians swiftly dispatching the remainder of his guard. His body crashing to ash, scattered against this throne he's built himself. Orelton, you had thrown down the Faybreaker greatsword and stand breathing heavily over the shattered remains of this ancient enemy of the mortal races. Combat comes to an end. You are left not alone due to the horde of berserkers surrounding Vala as they turn their kind of ethereal forms quiet as they turn and salute to Vala and stand awaiting her next order. Deep beneath the earth, Go back to you.
Are we all right?
I'm all right.
That went a bit faster than I thought it would.
Well, we were prepared. What's next?
Does anybody need any healing?
I could use a little. I'll
Elton,
call
you
it.
okay over there?
Relton's gonna take an oil flask from his bag, pop it open, and just dump out all the oil just on the ground beside him, and then start scooping ashes of the Dow into this oil flask.
I'm gonna grab one of those potions of greater healing and take it over to Raven. Here, Ben sent us with a few of these. This should help. I'm gonna hand it to him.
Thank you. Might save this.
Is 44 plus 4. And then as I walk over and hand it to him, I am also going to cast... Is it Bless? Is it Bless? No, not Bless. I'm dumb. Hold on. I don't know my character, guys. Cure Wounds, sorry. So it's
There you
1d8 plus 7 healing. I'm gonna let you roll that.
1d8 plus 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 9. Cool. Thanks. Oh, Relton. Are you all right?
Yeah, just a second. And toppers off the bottle. So what's next?
Need to handle the rest of the siege, right?
We need to figure a way to get out of here. They have to have a way that they got up and down.
I mean, the way we came in, right? He's an earth elemental.
Yes, I mean the elementals, but how were the miners getting up and down?
Are miners in here?
I don't think there are any children here.
No, wrong miners.
I don't think there was anybody in here but the Dow and those two elementals.
But this was a mine.
Yeah, but the cave's been sealed off. We came in through that hole. Unless there's a back
Right, though, it
entrance.
doesn't hurt to look.
But
Let's
I will go look for
look around and see.
another exit.
I'm gonna tell all of my berserker soldiers to look for an exit.
Okay. They begin looking around. Anybody else that is also looking is welcome to make investigation or perception checks.
I thought Ladrillai was going to get us out of here.
Us, yeah, but what about these 14?
I
mean,
can. I can teleport us back to the surface with some degree of accuracy. Yeah, if we can find another way out, that'd be better. It's an expensive spell. Costly spell, I should say. If there is another way, I believe the guardians can make their own way out. And you actually look as your guardians step. That's their feet don't actually fully touch the ground. They're very spiritual in nature. And one of them actually goes and kind of like, they don't have like a fly speed, but he kind of starts going and just is able to move pretty quickly up the shaft, the incorporeal nature allowing him to like just kind of go up, heads up a little bit and comes down. He starts gesturing and like pointing at the shaft. Some of the other berserkers kind of milling about, not seeming to have found anything else in the room.
I rolled a dirty 20
I did too.
20.
on perception.
Oh, investigation for me.
Perception and investigation. There doesn't seem to be another way out. Raven, with your favorite enemy being elementals, you were aware like elementals could earth glide. down this. It was formed by an elemental tunneling. This wasn't part of the original mine that the Dao had moved into. You believe he had created a tunnel leading into this pre-existing chasm. Neither of you see another way out. You both also notice there is treasure and stuff kind of collected
Ye-
around the base of this.
That's what I was going to ask, if he was sitting on a
Yeah.
throne of treasure or if that was just the map.
No, he has like a stone seat that it seems like the gold and things have been like piled up, and some of it seems newer, and others is coated with like dust, and some of like there's a couple things that are like half rotted away that seem to have been. This seems to be where the Dao had made his residence previously. Like some of this is old, like hundreds of years just having sat and rotted.
I'll be ashamed to let this go to waste.
Sure, we can
Nah.
collect some of it now and send someone back for it later as well. I don't know if we can carry all of this.
I mean, we've got an endless bag, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about.
Okay, so you're
Oh.
looking through the treasure.
I mean, if we're
Um,
only going to get the important bits, then let's take a look.
There is a significant amount of gold of an unfamiliar mint, like the printing on the side of it. It doesn't seem familiar, but gold is gold. It's about 5,000 gold pieces worth of gold. There's
Anybody writing that
another.
down?
Is somebody
I
writing
gotcha.
that down?
I got it.
I mean, I got the bag. I'll do it.
Okay.
There is another 2,000 gold worth of varied, like precious gems, diamonds and rubies. There's another 500 gold worth of just like miscellaneous, like scrimshaw and pottery and ceramics, just miscellaneous treasures that you'd have to sell. Second to pull this up.
Well, with all of this, I could kind of somewhat accomplish what I came here for. Aside from a couple certain worries, anyway.
Are you going to get rid of your brother with gold?
That's the worry.
Ah. And how much gold did you say of scrimshaw and random treasure?
That was another 500 gold.
While everybody's kind of rummaging through the gold, Raven's gonna pace around, anxious. Say, I think we have bigger issues at hand. Can we, like, there's a whole village under siege right now. Is gold our important part right now? Where can we go?
Well, I mean,
I agree, let's go.
it
be
is
fair, you
important to a
got-
degree.
14
But,
ghosties, right? What are they doing here right now? They don't need gold.
No, we can send them.
Yeah, we
send
should.
them back into town.
We should send them.
I'll buy us a little time to scoop up some coin here.
Well, and also, wasn't the Tao creating these things? I mean, these elementals. So won't they pretty much be wiped out at this point?
Got to be some
once
extra
you-
up there, right?
Once he
Either
created
way, we need
them,
to
I
check.
don't think they go away.
I guess we'll only find out by leaving. All right.
Let's get out of here.
So we're going back up via teleport, allegedly.
Yes, I can. Do we just want to go straight into the keep itself, or would you prefer to go outside?
Well, if we go straight into the keep, We should probably let somebody know that we're coming, because
Well, they wanted us to come at some point already.
Right, maybe just give him a heads up so that we don't get an arrow or something in the shoulder.
I think we should be fine. I already told them we'd be coming into the city center today, so if I use another spell to use message, I'm going to be short on.
And we've moved quite quickly. We did actually tell them that we'd be arriving maybe 2 hours ago. It hasn't been terribly long. I think we should be all right if you agree.
I'm going to let my spirits here know to head towards town. Take out elementals. So I'm gonna go and give them directions. This way, that way, explain things. Done.
Okay, that's giving them instructions. They all start moving up the tunnel. Ladder, I guess. Whenever you're ready, take my hands. We can form up. Is anybody like taking time to loot, or do you want to come back later to do that?
I mean,
I
I'd be
figured we were
taking as
just
much time as I
shoveling.
could to loot, but
Yeah, I figured when we were looking at what there was, we were just like, here's our bag. Like,
Okay. Yeah, that works just fine
no,
for
I think it's the
me.
other way.
There we go. Important things. So beyond the gold, there is also a sword. It looks to be a scimitar, and then a small stone that seems different. It is actually like traced with arcane markings carved into the sides of it. You'd have to sit down and spend some time with it. I have these marked down what they are.
just throw them in the bag and check them out later.
Yep. And then one. Sorry, the last thing. Trying to find. We'll get back to that. As you just kind of shove all of the treasure, anything that doesn't seem rotted goes into the bag. There's another couple of things, but don't take up time with rolling on tables.
And do I see O'Relton walk over without Fey Breaker in his hand? Or did you pick it up, O'Relton?
I didn't, so I'm probably not in the right state of mind, so I will be walking over to Ladulai without it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say it's pretty apparent.
O'Relton, we might still need that.
Yeah, all right. I'll go back and grab it.
Right.
Okay. Y'all take hands. I don't know. Am I
You're good.
I'm over.
Hold on.
Okay.
You're good.
You're over to the side, so
Fine.
I think.
Nope.
Well, you need to go to the other side.
I feel like
We're good. We're good.
I'll
like
take-
an Egyptian.
Y'all take hands. Ladderly says a few quick words, and the world, your view, shifts. You appear in the center of a large courtyard, soldiers milling about. From outside, you do still hear some crashing, but also a number of cheers and yelling from the other side of the wall. The gates are open.
I
I'm
guess
gonna
I'll
run right to the gates.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
look
I
around and
guess,
see if I can see Svetla or Anna's the one that died, right?
Yeah, Anya
Eva,
died.
Eva was the one that,
Or-
no,
yeah.
Eva was the one that died. Anya's
Yeah,
the.
That's right.
Anya's the one that sold. Okay.
Looking around with your passive perception, you see Svetha is up on the wall, kind of overlooking the gate, and she's looking down, and you can just see she's just shaking her head. Through the gate, you see Kalion and Anya are tearing into the fire-breathing salamander. Kalion holding 2 axes and just hacking it at its side. Anya, who is still unarmed, she does not seem to have equipped any weapons. Is just like she has a boxer's stance and just is laying in. And you know she's not a monk. She's hasn't gone through the same level of like martial discipline that Svetla has. But she has just this full boxer's stance, and just every time the salamander like turns its head, it's just like lightning quick jabs to the side. There's a number of earth elementals behind her, and far more like piles of dirt and mud kind of just around. This is the scene you guys are coming into.
Well then.
Let's go.
Does it look like one side or the other? Well, this is an obvious question, but does it look like one side or the other's winning?
It definitely looks like the Aldenstead side is winning. But something has happened in recent time to turn the tide of this siege. If you'd all like to join in, I will need everybody to roll initiative.
Woo!
I don't think
Yeah.
O'Relton breaks stride to look. I think he just clears the gate and keeps running.
Okay.
I hate getting a 20 on initiative, but that's a 20.
Stop doing it then.
Always
That
feels
happened to me
good, though.
twice last game.
No matter what it is, getting a 20 just feels so good. Did you get 22?
Yeah. And I rolled a
that
a
was good.
17 and got a 22. So
There it is.
Your initiative is
Power bringing up the rear.
I also have
crazy.
advantage on initiative. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so what did everybody get?
22.
4 for Kaya, 22 for Raven. Vala?
21.
And 19 for O'Relton.
16. Perfect.
And then I
All
don't know
right,
if you
which
rolled
starts
for,
us with...
Did you roll for Brayden and
I did, yes.
Ledley? Okay.
Oh, my. Raiden.
Okay. He's going to get a chance to do something, I'm sure. So as you all kind of appear, take this in and kind of figure out what's going on, everybody breaking in to join this final conflict. Raven, we were starting with you.
About how far away are we from the open gate?
You're probably about 40 feet from the open gate, so you can make it just about to it and start firing through it if you need.
Okay, yeah, I'll use all 40 of my feet of movement to get to the gate. And then just doing a quick look around, does it look like anybody in particular is having more trouble than the others with their fight?
There are a number of guards. There's a few guards that are going like toe-to-toe with who appear to be, they're dressed similar to the exiles you had encountered. A couple people that are locked in conflict. The salamander seems to be the most like pressing threat that is being dealt with Kalion.
Okay.
They don't seem to have done like a ton of damage to it. They're just trying to prevent it from setting more fires.
Okay.
There is only one earth elemental standing. He's dealing with another couple guards at the time. He looks to have been somewhat wounded.
Okay, I'll just shoot at the salamander then.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
And I'm gonna use sharpshooter.
Okay.
And it's engaged, right? And I'm
It
guessing
is-
this would
it is
not be
currently engaged.
this would not be surprised because it's in a fight, right? So-
Yeah, it is
Okay.
in combat.
Well, that's probably not gonna do it, but we'll find out. So +3, so 14 to hit.
14 misses. Your first arrow kind of strikes off of its scales.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll shoot again.
Does not deal any damage.
Another sharpshooter on this one. That one's a little better, so 17.
17 does hit. Yes.
Cool. So sneak attack, my 2d8. 2, 4, 10, 13, plus 10, 23, plus 3, so 26 points of damage.
That one, your first arrow striking kind of off of its shoulder, it looks at you and you see flames kind of building in its mouth, and your second arrow just strikes into its mouth, not killing it, but definitely setting it back on its heels as it kind of rolls back from the force of your strike. Anything else?
And then I'll just use my bonus action to dash another 30 feet to the left.
Okay, perfect. So tucking just kind of out outside of the wall. One of these little mud mephits kind of goes and swarms up the side of the leg of one of the guards and just belches mud across him. Let's see. Natural 20 on his saving throw. Is like the mud hits him and he immediately like brushes it off, and he watches it starts to like harden into stone as he's pushing it off of him. He does manage to escape from that. Vala, it is your turn.
Vala is going to look at this because we've got the salamander and we have the, what are they called?
Methods.
Methods and an earth elemental.
And then
Okay.
there's the exiles that are there as well.
Oh yeah, and some of the exiles that are fighting.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the elemental and cast Thorn Whip. That's a nat 20 for 27.
Hey.
Wow.
These vines sneak out of the ground and wrap around this earth elemental for 11 damage.
Is
Okay.
that
Is that
doubled?
your critical damage?
Hold
So,
on, I don't know.
22.
That is
It's
not
advantage.
so. Well, you double the damage. The
Well, it's a
the
spell,
dice.
so it doesn't have
Oh, yeah.
modifiers added.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, 22.
22
Yeah.
points of damage.
27. Yep.
All right. An already wounded earth elemental, these vines come crashing out of the stone and just into more stone, and they tear a huge section out of the side of this elemental. What else are we doing?
That's my action, and running up closer to the action. That's it.
Okay. Anya, still next to the salamander. She does seem somewhat hurt every time she has like singes creeping up her arms and like across her chest. She is going to make 2 attacks. There's a 27 to hit and a 23 to hit. 14. Jesus. Sorry, I maxed out damage that I just did. So she deals 28 points of damage as just one jab, like test the distance, and then she just comes in with a haymaker and just cracks across the top of the salamander's head. She does take 10 points of fire damage as just the heat from its body kind of rolls back across her.
Not doing so hot now, or is she still doing hot?
She seems to be doing just fine. She's almost relishing this. This big grin has kind of creeped across her face. The salamander is looking rough. Next, Kalion actually is up next. Natural 20 and 18 both hit. Yeah, she can't not kill it at this point. So she comes through and she hits with one of her battle axes, kind of crushing into the back of its neck and gets stuck a little bit. And instead of trying to pull it out, she reaches to her belt, pulls out a smith's hammer, and just strikes the back of the axe, driving it into further into the neck, which falls limp. And she lets go of the axe, pulls out a second axe from her hip that's at her hip. Goes, "Hey, what's next?" And just starts sprinting at one of the exiles. Orelton.
How close am I to the elemental and the Miffits?
The elemental is probably the closest. He was just like outside the gate. He's probably about 50 feet from you.
Okay. I will close the distance 30 feet to him. I will cast as my bonus action Hunter's Mark on him, and I will run out and hold up Fey Breaker in his direction and say, "You on me!" And use my action to cast, and I forget the name of it now that I'm trying to
Is it
cast
Compelled Duel?
No, it's the
Or-
Oath of Vengeance one. It's the Channel Divinity that
Okay.
gives me advantage against him.
Okay.
I'll find it in a second and I'll tell you what it is.
That and holding out Fey Breaker, I believe he has like all of the elemental have to make a wisdom saving throw to not be frightened
I
of you,
did not
correct?
mean to do that.
Right.
Disregard.
Vow of Enmity. That's what it's called.
I didn't roll above a 5 for
So I got a
any
lot of
those.
pissed off elementals.
They're all pissed at you, but they're also frightened, right?
Oh, hold on. I don't remember. Must make a wisdom or become frightened for 1 minute, or until the blade is sheathed. Yep.
Yeah, that's all of them failed. This guy's dead.
Sweet.
Cool. And is there anything else for you to do?
That'll be my turn.
Perfect. One of the exiles goes and he makes a couple strikes against a guard. It's a natural 1. And that is a 11. So that doesn't do anything. 2 cards. Go. To the soldiers striking into the mephit that just actually belched mud across one of them. They both turn and stab into it. Why can't I roll this hot when I'm fighting against you guys? They actually kill one of the mephit that had run up and belched on them. Ending him. The second mephit is going to turn and try to run away from O'Relton, which means one of the guards on him gets an attack of opportunity, which misses. Okay. He moves his speed, so he moves 30 feet just away from O'Relton, running away. Earth Elemental is going to as well. Or no, he's actually going to. He's frightened, so he can't move closer. He is going to. He moved 30. He was 50. So you're still 20 feet away from him, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the math. Yeah. Gonna hold. He shifts, kind of, not really further from you, but towards one of the guards that just killed the mephit, and is going to take a swing at one of them at disadvantage because he's frightened. I rolled a 3 and a 2. I rolled a natural 20 and a natural 1. So those attacks all miss. Same guard is going to take a strike at him, which surprisingly hits. Dealing another 3 points of damage. Not too hot there. Salamader's dead. Sorry, I'm trying to steamroll through turns so I can get to what you guys.
Right.
The final guard that has not acted runs and actually drives a spear into the side of the elemental as well, which kind of roars. He deals 7 points of damage to it. That kind of cracking earth grating sound erupting from where its mouth kind of would be. One of the exiles, seeing you all rushing out of the keep, turns and just starts running towards the forest. He's going to use his action to dash. Kaya, bring it up the back.
Okay. With that, I'm going to run out the gate, not be within range of anything. And yeah, he's going to take his turn, cast Thaumaturgy, make his voice boom and yell out, "To all of the exiles, the Tao is dead. You are no longer under his control. Leave now."
Okay. I'll let you make either an intimidation or a persuasion check.
We'll do
I'm
more.
going to give you
persuasion.
advantage on this too because they did just watch a bunch of elementals like collapse around them. So you're connecting pieces for them.
2 18s.
Okay.
Plus 8, 26.
Okay.
Be good.
One of them is already running. The other ones don't get to act. I will say we'll say that's your bonus action to do that. So if there's anything else you'd like to do.
As a thaumaturgy?
Oh, good. You
I
cast
did
thaumaturgy.
thaumaturgy to
Right.
expand my voice.
Okay. And then in that case, is there anything else you want to do just with your normal turn?
That's
You'd
good
still
enough
have
for
your
me.
bonus action. Okay. Which brings us back up to the top for Raven.
Oh, sorry. If I have a bonus action, then I will go ahead and quicken a chromatic orb and target an elemental.
Okay. Yeah. That's there's an earth elemental and a mud mephit. Both of them seeming pretty injured.
Okay, I'll do the earth elemental. Yeah, sure. We'll do the earth elemental, and we'll do with chromatic. Well, let's see if it hits. No, it doesn't. 2. So 10 total to hit.
Okay. No, 10 misses.
So then, yeah, that is it.
Okay. Raven.
Is either I'm guessing the earth elemental doesn't have anybody within, I believe it's 5 feet of it.
The guards are.
Okay, so
I think there's 3 guards I think swarmed around it currently.
okay, so both the elemental and the Muffet have people around it.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
No, the mephit has made itself away because it started running.
Okay.
Or
Let's see.
wait, sorry, no, I'm doing that wrong because the one
The
that was
exile, I
running
thought.
got. Yeah. No. Yeah. There's a mephit and a earth elemental with guards around it.
Okay, so then never mind. I won't do that spell I was gonna do. So I'll just point at the elemental and shoot 2 sharpshooter shots.
All right.
The natural 20 is cocked, so re-roll that, and then it fell
Dang.
off, so re-roll again. Those both miss.
They do. Okay.
Well, unless like a 13 hits, but
Mm-mm. Unfortunately, no. And Vala.
So we still have the elemental left and some of the
Muffets.
Miffits. I keep wanting to call them Muppets. I need to write this
I,
word down.
that's what I keep
Myth-
trying to call them.
It. Miffit.
Provides kind of a funny image, though, doesn't it?
Mephit. Mephit.
No, that's it. Okay. Yeah, got it. Sorry.
I fight for the Tao.
Tangent. Anyways, so, how close is Vala to the elemental?
You're probably, let's see, because you moved up to the gate. You're probably a good 30 feet out.
Okay. She's just gonna cast Thorn Whip again. So those vines grow up out of the ground and wrap around. That's 20. By the way, wrap around his legs and just like scrape down like the razor vine does, and that is gonna be 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. The vine
Yeah.
wrapping around its leg and pulling it, and it almost drops to one knee as this rips against him.
And then my bonus action, am I within 30 feet or 60 feet of Anya?
Yes, you are.
I'm gonna look over and see that she's been fighting and she's got the burns on her, and I'm going to point my finger out and cast healing word for. See, that is for 10 healing. that's my turn.
The kind of burn scorch marks, her skin heals, just kind of pulling back to that fresh pink skin that still looks a little raw, but that kind of regrows on her. Bring us to her turn, and she, instead of rushing at the elemental, actually turns and looks at you and kind of looks a little surprised, and looks up to Sveta. Are you kind of following this? Sveta just shakes her head. And
No, shakes her head?
Like Sveta shakes her head no, like. And Anya, in the middle of this fight, just turns towards you and crosses her arms. And she is, for this description, because you'd only seen her kind of from a header describes you as players from a top-down view. She is a hulking Goliath woman. Her head is shaved perfectly clean. She's wearing all right, double checking. She has a full set of plate armor on, which has kind of a blue iridescence to it. You see kind of black tattoos creeping up the side of her neck that also kind of have this energy to them, like a green. There's a kind of a green flash that gets caught in the light. And the gauntlets on her hands have little rings of spikes kind of covering them. And she has no weapon, like there's no sheathed weapon or anything. She's just, and she kind of rolls her shoulders, crosses her arm, and is just staring at Vala. Has kind of a lost interest in the fight around her. Kalion goes, all right, you made it. Good. It kind of looks and excited, sees Anya just having stopped. All right, and turns and rushes at the Earth Elemental. Rolled the natural 1 on her first attack and a natural 20 on the second. And then
Hitting
rolled
both
shit
spectrums today.
I rolled shit for damage on the natural 20. So she goes and she swings with the axe and just fully whiffs, and then follows up with that hammer, driving it into the knee of the elemental that has just been crushed by or slashed with the thorn whip, breaking out a huge portion of stone. She does 8 points there. Bring us to Orelton.
Relton's going to finish closing the distance to that Earth Elemental and just lay waste. First attack with Fey Breaker is going to be a 23.
That
to
hits. Roll damage on this one first before you rolled it on your second attack.
Okay. 2d6, a 7, 8, 9, and then another d6 for Hunter's Mark, which is a 4, so 13 points of damage.
Okay. And then roll your second attack.
Second swing is going to be a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Sweet. And there's 6, 12, 16 points of damage.
That as you close the gap, you rush up, Fey Breaker carving in on this first slash. You watch the kind of stone and earth that forms it like crack and decay, like all moisture was sucked out of it. As you pull back in the second swing, the elemental just collapses into dust. You've seen elementals die recently, and they normally kind of collapse into rocks and dirt and everything. What hits the ground is fully lifeless, like ash. Something will never grow in this soil. As Fey Breaker takes out this elemental, it breaks the elemental, like breaks its soul. There is no recrafting of this creature.
And he immediately just turns on his heel towards the nearest Miffet,
which is just right there, staring, just like immediately trying to scramble back from you. It's not its turn. The exiles. one of the exiles goes. One of them turns and begins to run. The two guards that are next to the Mephit are both going to make attempts to attack it. Only getting one hit. Yeah. Kind of drives a spear into the side of the Mephit, which is going to attempt to scramble away. Orelton, if you'd like to make an attack of opportunity, you can.
I would. 19.
19 hits.
No hunter's mark is 8 points of damage.
8 points, which is exactly what you needed. As similarly, this Mephit is just scattered as the magic in the Fey Breaker just rends it. It collapses. Some of the guards kind of like turn to face you, not sure of what to think. They've been fighting for kind of a long time. And some of the exiles start kind of edging towards the trees. We're effectively out of combat. But
I'll just look around, see where everybody's at, and head back towards Vala.
Vala's gonna look at the guards and just like full on act like she has always been in charge, always been the person to look towards, and say, stop those exiles, but do not hurt them.
yes, ma'am.
And
They
like
salute
send it-
and will immediately take off. There's no check or anything needed. They recognize you for who you are. It's
and then
strange
yeah.
to see you giving orders again, sister.
Is that Anya?
Who's still standing just about 10 feet in front of you.
Well, someone has to.
Did you come back? Or you would just let us burn?
I wouldn't do that.
Sure.
We can talk about this more once everything is settled.
You hear a kind of a fluttering, looking over your shoulder. Sveta has just jumped over the edge and is tracing what looks like a clawed hand against the stone that is leaving just this massive groove as she slows her own fall. She lands behind you. You're between Svetla and Anya. I warned you she was coming, Anya. Be kind.
I take a step in front of Vala.
You found yourself someone to protect you, little sister. She sizes up, Raven.
Just here to help.
Just a friend. Now, shall we deal with this, or do you want to stand around having a staring contest?
Staring contest, I would like. We can deal with this later. Would you like to order me to pursue the exiles as well?
No. I think that your gods can handle it.
Sure. And she just kind of pushes, and she will actually, Raven, make an athletics check.
Figured. Let's see. 23.
You tied. She also got a 23. As she goes to just straight shoulder check you and is surprised as her form, which kind of dwarfs yours, like catches and you just brace a little bit and are not moved. She's done better than I thought, sister. And kind of moves past. Svetla kind of shakes her head. Could have gone much worse. And actually goes to hug you, Vala. but you're okay.
Hug her back and just say, no, Anya's not the touchy-feely kind.
She loves to touch people. Just the feely bit. She's trouble with. Be easy. She has lost much recently. She and Eva were close. You're welcome to come inside if you wish. And she turns, just walks back into the keep as well.
We'll look around at all of our buddies, our friends. Oh?
Oh, I
Would
love
like to
awkward
join
family
us?
reunions.
Well, we've come this far. I'm not going to let you go alone.
I'm not sleeping out here, so
So we all
Probably.
go back inside.
Okay. Entering into the keep itself. It is very Spartan, like minimalist. Entering the main keep, there are wood benches that line the hall. There are no tapestries, no decorations that line the stone walls. In a ways in, there is a stone chair that Ani kind of is sitting haphazardly, and she has her leg up over one of the legs, and has taken off one of her gauntlets and is just like picking at her nails. Svetla is kind of just standing, leaning against the wall to her side, whispering something. And Anya's just, you could tell, like, half listening because she feels like she has to, but doesn't really want to. And just kind of looks expectantly at you. So, you've been talking to Svetla, it sounds like.
Lee.
Why did you come back?
Because you needed help.
Fine. Couple rocks couldn't kill me.
Maybe not you, but you have to think there's more than just you in this settlement. Aldenstead is far larger than ourselves.
Fine. That's why we have Svetla around. She's and cares about the people. Came here to fight things, to find you, to test myself against you. You were the one Mother always held in such high regard.
That didn't turn out so well, now did it?
Any ones of us, if any of the rest of us had left the way you did, would have been an execution order. Because you're so fucking special. He stands up and just kind of starts pacing the room in front of you. Svetla has had an idea. She looks over and Svetla's kind of nods. Svetla thinks that you should die fighting these elementals. But that is the news that goes back home. I don't know, though.
What do you think should happen?
I think you should die here, too.
Why?
Except I think mine is less. I think Svetla and I have different definitions of what happens here. Not one for deceit. She just kind of keeps pacing. Very much with your, I think you have a passive insight of 19?
I think it's hold on. 17. It's only 7.
17. Even with that, like she has, it's the
Oh.
energy of like a big, like one of the big cats, like a lion or a tiger at a zoo, pacing in front of
It
the
just
glass.
needs something to pounce is just yeah.
Yeah. Um, I have a deal for you. I wouldn't want you to just be free to do whatever you wanted, thinking that something could kill you at any time. You or one of your friends, you can fight me. If you can beat me and prove that you won't just go off and let something else kill you, then you can go. We'll tell Mother you died. She'll stop hunting us at you for at least a little while.
Tell you to fight me.
Sorry, you cut out on my side. What did you say?
Did Mother tell you to fight me?
Mother told me to bring you home. I want to fight you.
And who do you want to listen to? Are you going to listen to the Valkyrie? Are you going to go against one of your own? Regardless of who it is and what I've done, will you go against the Valkyrie to stave your own personal desire?
I don't give a shit about any of this. I was here because of my sister, my real sister, and she's gone now. Taken because I followed the wishes of the Valkyrie. She died protecting their interests. If I die, well, I want to be pursuing something that I want.
Admirable, and that's fair.
I'll even fight the strong one that stood to protect you. Or the big one. I like him too. She kind of looks over at Orelton. And sorry, I got the wink, and that was my heart fluttered a little bit. She like kind of licks her teeth.
Orelton like snarls and the two big dragon fang show and puts them back down.
Kaya
If
stretches.
Vala dies.
Good.
No, you first.
Oh, Kaya stretches. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight me either.
If Vala dies
Trying not to
here,
threat.
what happens to the rest of Nalbrand? They put you in charge next, or Svella here?
So, imagine it would probably go to the Valkyrie herself. The Dowager Queen, as it were. She's trying to avoid the mantle because she...
Go ahead, sorry.
So she's tried to avoid taking the throne because she prefers to work in the shadows. But she could. She may even have Athea take it. Lord of the house. Groomed is your second even. She looks at Svetla, kind of takes a step forward. I just want one of us to have something better. If you choose to go back, you can. But I can't let you go without Anya being on board. Because then any lie I tell would be immediately contradicted by her. Anya's stretching. She's pulled her gauntlet back on. Yes.
Anya, you want to fight. I don't want to. I don't think that you going against the Valkyrie, which is what Eva was here for, is a great way for you to hold on, to respect her memory. Did she come here in vain? Is that what you're saying?
She came here because of some desire of your mother.
Would you
You
like
know-
my mother to be on the throne?
I don't really give a shit who's on the throne back home. We've been sequestered here in this corner of the world. sending her whatever metals and things we can find here. She checks every now and then on us through the teleportation circle. She just comes. Make sure we're doing our job. There's no, how are you? No news from home. It's just business. Sick of it. I've lost everything to it.
Because of that woman.
And her mother. Yes. Because of that woman. What do you want? Why do you care? You already tried to leave.
I left for self-preservation. If I'd stayed, there would have been nothing that would have stopped followers in Nalbury, tearing me piece to piece.
I've always loved you. You would have been fine. That's my deal. You fight me here, I can at least prevent your mother from sending more search parties for a little while. Eventually, she'll learn that you're still alive. All Svetla and I have to say is that you went down to the chasms to fight the Tao and never came out. It's believable enough. Or you can just
In order
leave.
to happen, you want me to kill you.
Said anything about killing. I just want to know who would win.
"24 hours to decide."
Fine. Can heal up the rest of these burns anyway.
You're welcome.
Cool. Thank you. Rest. And she just kind of turns and walks off down one of the hallways. Svetla. Well, I tried. Make yourselves at home here. She just kind of turns and walks down another hallway as well. Leave you guys alone in this keep.
Well,
So,
good.
are you the smallest of all your sisters?
Fairly small, not the smallest.
Gonna
But
rub my
Speaking like
shoulder.
You feel the bruise is already
Yeah.
like forming.
Anya and Eva were definitely the most burly. I don't. I'll be honest.
Svetla
I
was the
don't
will,
do-
right?
Yes.
What's on you? The arms?
Actually, yes. Well, yes.
Oh, it's appropriate.
So was Eva. They were twins.
Ah. That kind of explains why she's taking this so hard, huh? I think I'd be pissed too. Back home, you don't think you can make that work, huh?
I'm not. I'm not leadership material. You've been around me enough to know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you definitely haven't been piloting the four of us around or anything like that.
What are you saying exactly?
I don't know. I'll turn to the other two guys and who do you think runs this outfit?
Honestly, I thought I was the leader. Ladrelai, who's just kind of standing in the back of the group.
Is Brayden still here with us too?
No, he stayed outside. He when you told all of the guards to like chase down the exiles, he just went with them.
It's like those look like more my level people.
Yeah, people I can do something against.
So my pay grade. No, I'm just saying, out of the four of us, the only one who really shows any type of leadership materials, probably you. In charge of 2 settlements over here, princess of a kingdom back home. I don't know. Sounds like you got a little bit of experience.
Kind of a role that you've fallen into.
Just
I guess it's none of my business. I could give a shit what happens in Nalburn, I guess, but if you don't go back, they leave it to who'd they say? Athea? Or the queen herself?
yeah, I don't think would be much of a problem, but as much as Anya says that mother doesn't want it, she wants it. Just I don't know how to change an entire country's view on the world. I mean, you're looking at a religious run country that follows a god that I don't worship, that
Father always said change starts with one person. Doesn't take changing everybody's mindset all at once.
And you may not know how to do it, but if you don't try, 100% chance it stays the way it is. If you try, I'm no mathematician, but it's probably less than that. I don't know. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but it just seems like anybody else seems like a shit option.
I don't have much input here, but do what you feels best.
Might I offer my input a little bit? Lateral, I just step in forward again.
absolutely I can use as much counsel as I can get.
If it's not too far for me to suggest, why not do both? Continue with your exploits here, and go home to Nalbrun to try your hand at leading the Empire. I like playing coy. I can explain further. You have a sorry, getting notifications. A powerful magical artifact that could potentially be used to create a simulacrum, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with. But you can create a copy of yourself and send it home. I think that might be even better than your home thinking you're dead. Take the throne, and if something happens or you get assassinated, or I don't know what, Nulbrand's royalty seems to go through stages of this in the 3 generations you've been an empire.
How exactly would that work? I'm not familiar with the but it kind of reduces cover. Circular
Simulacrum.
simulacrum. Thank you.
It's generally a spell that powerful wizards can cast. I don't have access to it myself. I have never learned it. But you create a copy of yourself that has all of your memories and abilities. It's somewhat weaker than you are, but the only fear would it be it being dispelled. But you could use that bottle you found to create another you and send it home.
Yeah. Is there anybody else we know that might have access to something that powerful?
Nobody in my circle of colleagues. It's kind of a niche spell, as it were. I mean, you could try, you could find somebody. It's just, it wouldn't be an immediate solution the way that this currently is.
This simulacrum, does it have any sense of loyalty towards me, or is it going to have the same personality as me and want to run away?
I mean, it's a magical construct. It will do as you command. Beyond that, once it's outside of your sphere of influence, it would kind of pursue its own interests. But if you're split evenly between going home and trying and not, it will be split just as evenly. I assume.
I do find that as a quite attractive idea. But that
Plus,
bottle
it'd
is
be a
not
hell of a
mine.
be a hell of a mindfuck if you did get assassinated, and then showed up next week anyway.
That's true.
It is using a powerful artifact to avoid a problem.
And that artifact is not mine to choose what to do with. I would need the rest of you to be on board. I wonder if...
You wonder if?
Raven, your uncle... How powerful of a person was he?
I haven't said this before, but I don't know. I've never met him.
Oh,
I was exiled from the moment I was born.
your own home.
Yeah, they're not too accepting of mankind. You know, not being pure.
You mean being a half elf?
Yeah. They they make sure we know it. And I pull down my sleeve or my shoulder and turn around and show the mark of the half elf branded on my shoulder.
Ladrillai
Okay.
looks just like deeply ashamed. Just
Well, I got to get a fucking tattoo. It seems like everybody else has got one.
Raven, I'm sorry. That's terrible.
Just their way.
So, were your parents exiled as well?
Yeah, that's how we ended up in Lion's Fall.
And your uncle is... He's... I guess, why? Why?
I don't have any other family. I was surprised to see Ladrillai here. I just want to find somebody that's a part of me, you know?
In answer to your original question, Vala, I don't think Akron is he's not powerful in the same way to help solve this problem for you. He was more of a ranger. He did have a knack for attracting powerful allies, so he may be able to assist. But you'd have to go find him. You'd have to deal with this issue now. I'll be outside if you need me. And Ladrillai just turns and walks. She's unable to meet Raven's eyes.
Could you buy some time with your sisters? Tell them, hey, I can come home, but I've got to take care of X, Y, and Z first.
Maybe.
Give us some time to find somebody that can cook us up a simulacrum.
I just worry that there's nobody on this continent that can do such thing.
I mean,
Well, they wouldn't have to be.
we could always go back to what you were doing before, too. And just leave now.
I leave now, I'm leaving Aldenstead. And I'm leaving Holland's Landing. And I'm cutting any kind of guidance over keeping the forest safe. I mean, we have friends that we've made here. I can't just walk away and watch all of that fall apart. It was different in Nalbrand. Me leaving only had some effect because of a position I was born into, not something that I'd worked toward.
I'll pull out the Afridi bottle. And you don't want to use this.
I don't want to ask that of you unless everyone is on board. And I don't want it to be everyone sees who is and who is not on board. If you all are willing to go with the blind vote, I'd be willing to use it. I don't want to otherwise. I mean, this could be something that could help us with Kaya and his brother. This could be something to help us find your uncle.
So here's the thing. I'm not worried about my brother. I mean, I am. But that turns down to being my problem. And if you turn around and try to tell me that, oh, well, Nalbrand's my problem. Yes and no. There are thousands of people. It's also their problem.
It's also Oshrimnir's problem. the Felden waste problem.
I
Kind of
feel
a global
like
thing.
it's kind of an important deal. Mine's just, well, I wouldn't say petty, but my own. Doesn't affect anybody else other than me, and maybe who's traveling with me.
You have just as much right to that power there as I do.
Yeah, but that power, it goes to helping more people. Your problem will help more people than my problem.
Reach out and grab Vala's hand and put the Afridi bottle in her hand and close her fingers over it.
Well, before we decide though, and if we're in the process of making pitches, I got one more.
Please.
Before we came over here, I talked to Father about and gestured a Fey Breaker on my back, and he obviously got me what I needed, but I didn't want to tell you this ahead of time. I didn't want anybody distracted. Well, maybe it's better this way, and I'll just pull out Pecan's box with her heart in it, and I'll just set it on the table and slide it across. He took volunteers, and he said there was one, and I don't know. I don't think it's awful fair that she was the one to volunteer. It's not fair to me. She made her choice, but I think that a Afridi bottle could fix this.
Who is that?
Just tap on the insignia on the top of the box.
Remind me what the insignia looks like.
It's an insignia of her tree, right?
Yeah, it's carved to look like her tree, and it's involved like your passive perception and just general intelligence and awareness, like kind of reaching out and touching the tree. It's the exact same pattern in the bark when you stood with Pecan and she like held your hand against her tree, where you kind of started to first feel that pull of ancient druidic magics. Like it resonates with you. It's warm to the touch, and you know whose it is.
And this doesn't solve a lot of people's problems. So maybe I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum as Bauer, but it solves mine, it solves hers. I'm putting my hat in, voting, or I'm putting my vote in on me.
Paul is just completely shell shocked. Like, she's shut down.
Slide the box back in my bag. It's like you might need to sleep on it.
I was sidetracked. Did you mention the other thing as well, or no?
Depends on which thing you're talking about.
The agreement.
Nope, didn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
Sorry you had to carry that burden.
I made the call.
Well, want to go see if there's a tavern.
I'll go with you.
All right.
I'm just gonna walk over and hug Vala.
It's going to just like freeze for the first like 5 seconds. And then just like turn her head into his shoulder and start bawling.
As we're out of earshot, and I kind of look over towards Orelton and, are you planning on upholding the deal?
I mean, you mean handing over Fey Breaker, right?
Yeah.
I told him I would. Imagine it'd be a lot worse to have him pissed off at us than give him this sword.
Right.
Plus, the thing talks to me all the time, and it's hella unnerving.
You know, I kind of know what you're going through, in a way. Except, mine's not all the time. Mine's, in my dreams occasionally.
You talk to what?
I wouldn't...
Your daggers in your dreams?
Not quite like that. I wouldn't say I even talk to him, but, or it, whatever it is. But, I keep seeing... I don't know, almost like a satyr style man, or like a goat face anyway. Occasionally, usually it's dark, clouded.
Like the ones we saw in Falks?
A little more dark.
Not as happy-go-lucky, less mead.
And a little more, just flat out scary.
Man, wolves with glowing blue eyes, and now goatmen. We could suss that
Wouldn't
out.
say.
That'd be great. I'm not trying to get murdered in my sleep here.
Yeah, well, that's another worry I have altogether. I am a little
For now,
worried
maybe.
that
Go ahead.
I am a little worried that my brother is going to try to get at me through you lot.
Yeah, I'm worried he's going to try to get at me because of you. So we kind of have that same worry.
Yeah.
What do you say we drink ourselves silly and don't talk about it right now?
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's go compare brew.
Where's this alcohol at?
I don't know. Where's even the tavern?
Takes a little bit of searching. You find a guard who's kind of like cleaning off some rubble and asking, where you can find a tavern. He just kind of looks over at one of the buildings that's just been like destroyed. You might be able to find something worth drinking in the rubble.
Fuck.
Good news is it's free. So,
Even better news. I brought some with me.
right, he reaches out to share a drink with you.
That'll be a gold.
Not worth it. I'm going to dig through the
I
rock.
promise you it's worth it.
It's not. He just turns.
Promise.
Your sample?
I'll give
Do
you a
you
sample.
want to make a persuasion check?
I'll give you a sample. Yeah.
Okay. Persuasion check with advantage if you're this is to
advantage?
get him to take the sample. If he takes a sample, you'll sell it.
So 19.
But yeah, I'll take a free sip. Takes a sip. A gold for how much?
Now we're talking. And I will I'll search around for like cups or anything along the lines of and what I
He's
can
got
find.
like an empty like wineskin that he like shakes out. Hands over
let
to
me
you.
take a quick look at my inventory here, and I fill up about a I'd say like just a regular cup worth.
Okay. He kind of shakes it, flicks you gold,
All right.
wanders off.
We just made 5,000 in gold plus, and he's sitting over here like getting these poor strangers whose entire town has been destroyed. Give him gold.
To be fair, all of that gold is in Orelton's bag. He doesn't have it yet.
True. And that man needed a drink. Trust me. He's providing a service and/or product.
And with that, well, why don't we liven things up a little bit then? And I pull out, I stacked up with a few bottles. How many would you say that I have? I loaded up quite a few. I just don't know how many.
I thought that you'd grabbed like 10.
Yeah, let's say
I
10.
grabbed a bit.
Like that's a
I was
nice
in my
round
brain.
number that I feel like I
Okay.
would have grabbed.
So we'll say 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
10.
I'm going to go over towards the tavern, see if I can't find any like supply-esque kind of stuff.
Make
as well
an
as potentially
investigation
other brew.
check.
Oh, fuck me. That ain't going to work. 5.
I will help you look.
Oh, you're going to help me? Okay, well, that doesn't do me any better.
Well, that's are you
Um,
helping or are you giving him advantage or are you rolling yourself?
I'm gonna roll myself.
Okay.
There you go.
That's a 13, so
That was better than my
13.
5.
And what was it you were looking for?
Just tables, supplies, other brew.
We'll say with that you find like a small cask, like yay big, of like a low quality whiskey that has been
Okay.
kind of brought over. You find it at like a table and a couple like unbroken cut like pewter cups, stone cups.
Good.
Odds and ends. So you can set up like a little mini bar type situation.
Yeah. So he's going to do that, and just to kind of steamroll through it, basically he's going to set it up, use thaumaturgy, say it's Kaya's creative brew, and he's going to have on the whiskey. He's going to take one of his. I don't know if I even have a dagger. Actually, I do not. He's going to use a crossbow bolt and inscribe onto the cask "shit brew," and just put it out up front. And then he's going to have his own stuff off to the side, and he's going to, as supply diminishes, increase price exponentially, and keep one bottle for himself.
Okay. All right. Give me just a single charisma check. I'm going to
Cool.
give you advantage on this just because this is very, like, you thought this out very thoroughly.
Charisma. Would you like persuasion or
Nope, just charisma.
just charisma itself? Okay. Natural 20.
Of course, of course.
Okay, my hands are
That's
up
how we
here.
do.
I'm gonna take a picture of this
Nope,
shit.
I believe you. Roll a D100 for me.
A D100.
D100.
39.
39. You make 390 gold through the course of the evening.
Okay.
Selling off your 9 bottles of your good stuff. Yeah.
Glad I brought these.
And Orelton, are you doing anything else? You just kind of hanging out with Kai, just watching this unfold.
I'm hanging out, and I'll shoot the shit with anybody who's not too shell shocked to talk, and
Yeah.
fully distract myself from
Yeah,
the events.
there was while you were searching, there was another small cask of a higher quality whiskey that you found that you did not hand over to Kaya.
It's open at the top, and I'm hugging it.
Yeah, this, knowing he was going to be up to shenanigans and would try to charge you for drinks.
Oh no. That all comes from the one bottle that I kept for us.
Okay.
I'm still guarding this one selfishly.
Okay. Raven and Vala, roll back a couple hours. We left you in the keep.
Raven's
Are
not
you
going to
doing
say anything and is just going to be there until she needs to talk.
I'll look at her tears out, and then say, "Thank you, Raven. I don't know why you're always here. I certainly don't deserve it.
Why don't you deserve it?
I don't make the best of choices.
None of us are perfect. Doesn't mean we don't deserve someone who cares.
Raven, how much do you care?
Can't let you guys die.
I've never felt this strongly about a group of people. If you get my double meaning there.
Raven doesn't.
Okay. Fine.
You guys mean the world to me. I know we've only known each other for a few weeks, but you're the closest thing I've had in a long time.
I still have no idea what I want to do. So I think I need to sleep. What do you think?
One will solve a lot of problems, but another will restore a sacrifice that gave us this opportunity. Eventually, we'll still have to face that demon down the road.
Maybe I should
Follow.
just face that demon now.
Follow what your heart tells you. You have my support either way.
And Ball's gonna reach over and kiss Raven on the cheek, and then turn around and walk out and head towards wherever our exile soldiers accumulated.
Raven, you're kind of left alone in the keep after that. Doing anything else or just...
I will actually go try to find Ladrelai.
Okay. So you both kind of leave. Val, you are kind of commanding a guard to take you there. They take you there. There's a small building still standing that seems to have been repurposed into like a holding cell. There are 4 exiles that are left. And there's 2 guards kind of standing over them. They've been stripped of weapons. Their hands are bowed behind their backs. They do seem not any more injured than they were when they run away.
What do I recognize any of them from our visit to the exile camp?
We'll say 1 or 2 of them. You never got their names, but do seem familiar, like you had seen them in your last visit.
I
There's
am
a half-orc gentleman and a halfling.
I'm not gonna talk to him. Not gonna really say anything. I'm just gonna go around and do some just like basic medicine stuff. No spells or anything.
Just checking their
Just-
wounds and
Yep.
okay. Raven, it takes you a little while to find Ladderlie. You kind of go around the inside of the keep. You find her, and she's still in like she's got kind of fine robes on, like traveling equipment. She is just outside the gate, and she's just kind of sitting against the wall. She has her head leaned back and is just kind of watching out over the forest that surrounds the town, kind of past the broken buildings. She kind of sees you approach, and she just kind of turns her head aside, and you see she kind of wipes tears away. Raven, yeah. What can I do for you?
I just want to thank you for sacrificing everything to come with us and help. We couldn't have done that without you.
I didn't sacrifice anything. It was my duty as the warden of Folks to come and see this to an end. I'm glad that you and your companions made that possible. I'm sorry that
I'm
never
just
came to
gonna
visit.
stop her from talking. You don't need to be sorry.
What our people do to... I don't want to say your kind. It seems de-elvenizing. To people like you. It's in Elven. I've seen a Will chuckling at my inhuman swapperoo. The history we have of branding anyone that is deemed a half-breed. I hate that your mother was cast out for falling in love with someone deemed unworthy. I wish I had been able to stand up and offer you and your family a home with us. So much pain in your life would have been avoided had we just accepted you and them.
You didn't have much of a choice. I wouldn't ask you to ever be cast out just to help us.
You're far more forgiving than I think our people deserve. What can I do to help you now?
Just need to rebuild. Start the process of teaching how to create these batteries. Form peace over here so we can have a land that doesn't exist like ours back home.
You are far kinder than our people have any pride. I'll do that. I can teach. And I'll do everything in my power to make sure that the bargain you and yours have struck is upheld. If you need assistance with this issue with Nalbrand that your companion seems to be facing, anything in my power will help. She seems to matter a great deal to you.
She does. Thank you. Once she's made her decision, we'll find you.
Morning, I can take any of you anywhere you need to go, as long as I've at least been there. Or seen it. But... fine. I think tonight I'll stay out here, enjoy this new peace we have with the creatures of the forest by sleeping under the stars.
And I'll give her a hug and then grab her hand and place the pin from my father in her hand and say, thank you for always accepting him.
Good man. I know why your mother fell in love with him. She looks at the pen.
I think you cut out, sorry.
No, good night, Raven.
Good night.
And you all kind of proceed with the rest of your evenings. Is there anything else you were wanting to do?
That's
I
it
want
for me.
to spend the rest of my spell slots identifying the items we got.
Oh, so there were
I
two
guess I could
items.
do that ritually.
There is an
Scimitar.
Scimitar
in-
and a small stone.
yeah, and the small stone, it was in iron stone of, sorry, which was it? It was an iron stone of sustenance.
That's cool.
And then it was a scimitar of speed, or sorry, a scimitar of sharpness. And kind of going through the rest of the equipment, there is like the rest of the items. This is where you kind of tally up the gold and gems and everything you got. Something catches your eye, and you try to identify it, and it actually resists identification. It's a key. It's a large key, and it seems to the circle, the ring of the key, is inlaid with like a maze. Like it's kind of just shaped like that to seem like it. Through identifying it, you recognize it gives you advantage on stealth checks if you're attuned to it. It grants you proficient with thieves' tools and gives you advantage on ability checks to open locks.
Okay.
And it feels like there's more to it, but that's what you're able to get. And I'll actually get this like sent to you.
Oh, okay. All right, type all that in.
I guess the only other thing after you're done with this that I would like to do is actually go back to the mine and collect our rope that we left.
Oh, yeah.
You have go and get 150 feet of rope.
Yeah.
At a certain point, probably about 15 minutes or so after finishing up the battle and kind of that initial conversation, a whole bunch of spectral barbarians like charge into up to the gate, scare the crap out of the guards, and then after a couple, like everybody's just kind of waiting. The barbarians all kind of stand and just don't have any orders, and after a period of time, just kind of dissipate because you sent them out, but you were several miles away from town, and then teleported.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, so they couldn't. Okay.
they
yeah.
all arrived, had nothing to fight, and then the time just kind of elapsed. Okay. All right. And Raven, what was it? So you went and got the rope.
Yeah.
You all settle in for the night, each of you kind of grabbing just a room in the keep. And
Relton falls asleep in his chair, just still like hugging the probably mostly empty cask.
What a lie to wait.
Vala, during the night, you have muddled dreams. They fall through faces of people that you know and have seen. Each of them speaking to you, and the message is consistent as it just kind of shifts and takes form. All these people, you see your sisters. You see, right? Argia, your mother. You see an older, red-haired, kind of barbaric woman that you haven't seen in years since she passed. Sigrid. All these figures calling to you. Just there's no real words. It's one of those dreams that just kind of flows over you. It's your thoughts kind of collecting and organizing. But it's all of these people in your life that have told you who you're supposed to be, what you should be doing, what your responsibility is, what your duty is. And in this kind of clouded fog, this fugue, something cuts through. A much gentler voice. There is no great plan. Destiny is something created by those that don't have the power to inspire change. I would not have chosen a slave to fate. You wake up, and it's morning. Quiet. It's calm. Each of you kind of individually waking up around town. Some of the guards milling about. People that had kind of retreated into the forest once the battle and have been kind of out and about. Some of the civilians kind of come back in almost droves. Like they had it's explained to you by one of the guards that they had been instructed to just kind of evacuate, get away from the town where the concentration of attacks were happening. As Aldenstead just kind of, something you've seen before in Falks, just kind of starts to recover. Y'all kind of are able to meet up in the morning. You're given rations by one of the quartermasters of the guard. Hardtack, like trail rations. They're just busting out provisions, making sure everybody has food to get by. You still have until a little after noon to get back to your sisters. So anything you want to talk about, go over.
As we're all sitting down for, morning getting ready and grubbing and all that stuff, I will slap out those 3 magic items on the table, along with 4 piles of gold and gems split up equally. Say, all right, this stuff I'm not carrying around, and I'll slide the money to each individual person, which totals to $12.50 in gold and
$12.50 in gold?
250. Yeah, 5,000 divided by 4.
Yeah, I got it now.
Yeah.
I did 1,025. I'm fucked up on a digit. It's fine.
So 1250 and then what?
1250 in gold and 500 in random gems. And then there's still all this extra stuff that needs to be sold before we can make any use of it. But I guess we'll do that later. This is the good stuff I found in the pile. And I will slide out the maze key, Raven's direction. So I think that's probably best yours, but whoever else wants it, I can't really get through to everything it does, but it's a sneaky key. And then these two, I don't really know. Say again.
A sneaky key. What does that mean?
Sneaky key. Makes you better at sneaking.
Right?
I mean, I'm pretty good at
And then-
sneaking already if somebody else wants it.
And maybe with Kaya's propensity for breaking people out of their handcuffs, he should have it.
And of course, you'll have to inform me what it is later, because that's the one thing I zoned out on. But
Nope, you're good.
Sure.
Oh, a key. I freeze locks.
You don't need keys. And then these two, and I'll slide the scimitar, sharpness up, and the Ioun stone, and say I don't really know who can make use of these, but we got them too.
I mean, we could always find someone who would want it as well, or at least attempt to.
Remind me
You
what
mean
the
sell
stone
it?
was again. Sorry.
Ioun stone of sustenance.
That's, yeah, well attuned to it. You don't need to eat or drink while this clear spindle orbits your head.
Yeah, Kaya definitely wants that key. Just, meta out of the Kaya wants that key, yes.
So what are you thinking, Vala?
Any takers on the?
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, any takers on this sword, or is it going back in the bag?
I'm more of a long range guy.
Yeah, I figured.
And if we found some daggers, that'd be nice. But I'm not much with a sword. Of any sort.
Weapons.
All right.
So did you have a moment to think about it, Vala?
I wish I knew more about the power of this bottle and what that sword does to the soul of the individual that it was used on.
I mean, like the people that were killed with the sword?
Like, when you attune, what happens with that individual that you used? What happens to their soul?
I don't think it affects the soul of the individual that was used to attune to it. But those that were killed with it, they don't look like they come back.
Okay. I have a lore question that I don't know if Vala would know or not. So,
Okay. Yeah.
would she know if, like, how do I phrase this question? Do you see where I'm going with this?
If it's even
Yes, you're
possible.
Like, if Vala's soul is already dead,
Well, not
then
Vala's.
there's nothing that we can bring. Not Vala's. Sorry. Basically, Vala's soul. If Pecan is dead, Vala's
You-
soul is gone.
I thought you were dropping a big hint to your backstory
Yeah.
there. I was like, what the
Yeah.
shit?
What
Uh,
I mean,
that's
the
not-
soul of the Valkyrie, your soul is gone. Okay. All right.
Go ahead and make an Arcana or a Religion check.
Okay. What am I okay at? Religion. I'm okay at that one. 13.
You have no idea. Like, you're not sure
Um,
that's.
So so I am not sure if her soul's gone. Would I be sure if her soul was not gone, is that something magic would be capable of?
Yes, I mean, resurrection magic is like,
With
you
as
can
long
cast.
as it's been.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's also only been like a day, maybe 2 days.
Okay, I thought
Been about
resurrection
24
had to
hours.
happen in like 30 minutes or something.
Resurrection has to happen within like 100 years or something.
Oh, cool. Sweet.
A high-level resurrection magic's crazy because in the Rep RPG game, I have already had to be resurrected. So
Nice. Can we
Okay.
just swing by there if we decide not to use the Afridi bottle for this? I still want to, put her in the ground, metaphorically speaking. And if we do, maybe this will help you make a decision.
Ladrelai said she could take us anywhere we need to go. As long as she's been there before. So hopefully she can get us close.
I'm going to assume she's been somewhere along the trip between Holland's Landing and Fox, so I think that's a good idea. We should go there. Oh, my other question, sorry. If
Okay.
we try to use it and it's something it can't do, does it disappear? Do we no longer have that magic?
you're not sure.
Okay.
Likely though, whatever creature would be granting the wish would let you know if it was something it was capable of doing. Like if it just couldn't do it, probably let you know.
Okay.
I'm not going to waste your guys' wish in that.
As
Thanks.
hard as we may try.
That's what I'm like freaking out here about, okay? Let's go to the tree then.
Might have to.
Is everyone in agreement?
Yeah.
We go find Ladrelai.
Okay. Well, speed this part up. You go find Ladrelai. Kind of explain to her where it is you're trying to go. She nods, and I can take you close, I think. You'll probably have to walk a ways. You all circle up. Are you
And
ready?
before we go, I'm going to say, are your sisters going to come for us if we leave right now?
Hey, Brayden.
Yeah.
Will you deliver a message for me? And I'm just gonna write a quick message that says, I'm not disappearing, I'm coming back. I just need a moment to take care of some business. If we're not back by noon 30 or whenever we decided to meet or whatever, make sure that you give this to Anya. Better yet, give it to Svetla.
Yeah, I can do that. Sure, he lets go of your guys' hands and steps away from the circle and takes the note. You're not gonna leave me here, are you?
We'll be back.
Probably.
Okay. Okay.
Poor
He
Brayden.
turns, goes, and just
And-
kind of walks back to the keep.
If you have, oh, and before he leaves, I'm gonna say, if you have any issues, find Kalian.
Kayla, also in the circle. Am I not coming with you?
I didn't think she. No, we didn't invite Kalian. She
Look,
wasn't in this
if you're
group.
gonna start trying to abandon my NPCs all over the place, I'm gonna start just assuming that they're tagging along with you, unless stated otherwise. I guess I'll keep an eye on Braden.
Thank you.
Fine. Be safe. And she turns and kind of trots after him.
This is a once per day trip, right? Like we're not coming back today.
I can do this twice.
Okay, there and back.
We go.
You all take hands. The teleportation kind of, your vision spirals out as you're kind of quickly becoming accustomed to having this be the third time in 2 days. And you appear pretty immediately recognizable to Mike, or to Raven. to be pretty close. Like it's a path, it's on the path that you've traveled, and you're able to make your way down the path. Until you can come to that clearing. The clearing that opens up, and it has changed a little bit. The ring of trees around it has become denser, almost forming a wall. You pass through this arch formed in the branches of two trees, with a small path leading up to this ironwood tree. It looks like it's been shifted to be a little bit more central in this clearing. The brown bark and wood that it has turned almost a silver, with kind of green veins running through it. The front of it, where it goes from the bark, and you just see the face of kind of Pecan. She's half set into the wood, her hands crossed, and she just looks to be sleeping.
We should use this to try and bring her back.
You want to know her opinion on it first?
Yes.
I'll walk up to the tree and I won't touch her. I will touch the tree and cast Speak with Dead.
Okay. The tree kind of shifts, almost as if kind of blown by a stiff wind. There's kind of a shudder shakes through it, which is crazy considering the strength of these trees. It's like they're forged out of iron. But just like a breeze runs through it, and the leaves rustle, clinking together. She doesn't seem to move, like her eyes don't open, but you feel the magic take hold and can tell she's listening. The entire tree kind of acting as an extension of her body.
Hey, Pecan. No, I'm not actually talking to you, but before we get to business, I guess I just want to say thank you. We had a couple questions for you. We have the opportunity to maybe undo what you did and still receive the good results. If we can, would you like to come back?
One of the branches kind of lowers slightly, and you just watch as a series of kind of these buds open and flowers bloom. And they actually have this kind of strange crystalline appearance. They're transparent, but the flowers just kind of bloom one at a time down the length of this tree, seeming to be an affirmative.
I'll look back at the group. If you have any questions, now's probably the time. It's the only one I had.
He wants to come back. I want to bring him. That's it.
Why? Why did you do it? Why did you sacrifice? I don't know if we can get anything out of that, but
We can try. I will relay the question through myself.
With this again answered with flowers blooming, but there doesn't seem to be any response at first, and then each of you kind of look around and see just around each of you, flowers have kind of begun to bloom in the grass, just around each of your feet.
Power?
I got nothing.
I will let the other 3 questions go and drop the spell.
The flowers remain, but the movement in the tree kind of stops.
Can we find someone to make a simulacrum? I know nobody knows the answer to this, but what are the odds? I mean, seems like you have a lot of pull across the pond, as it were. Is there somebody over there that we can find that knows how to make a simulacrum?
If we can bring Bukan back, I am going back over to Narborough. If she can give up her life to save this continent, I can put aside my fears.
Are we coming with you?
This is my burden to bear. Raven, you're still looking for your family. You're still looking for your uncle. I wouldn't take that away from you, but I will always, always be a resource for you, for all of you.
I realize this isn't the instant gratification that you're probably looking for, and I will pull out Ladrilai's notes on the Shard of Change, and just kind of talk as I'm waving them around. What if whatever this is can help the balance back in Theremin? All it really says is it's an instrument of change, right? You want to change a nation? There's a recipe book. Now, that probably requires you sticking around for a minute.
Jesus, man. You're making decisions super hard. Okay? Okay? Rachel can't think this fast. All right? This is hard. Oh.
As you all stand in the clearing, surrounded by fresh blooms of flowers, answering questions to the recently deceased, Orelton pulling out a pile of notes and offering a potential solution to the problem that Val is facing. I think we're going to end it there for this week.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
spot.
thanks.
Good spot.
I
That's
need
a good
it.
spot.
I need it.
Which means that hopefully we'll see the rest of you as we kind of answer this question next week on Easy Dispel. Thank you so much for hanging out. Please follow. We can't subscribe yet. We're not affiliate. We're working on that. You
But
can
on YouTube.
like and comment on our YouTube video when we get that up, which it will be. Where you can get caught up on any episodes you may have missed. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. We will see you again. Goddamn. Good night, everybody. See you next week.